Hi folks, Javier is here. With some companies considering whether to go to the office again, and if so, how often, and some of the companies keeping their work from home policies, a hybrid way of working from anywhere is emerging. For banks, this means compliant mobile recording remains a top priority. There are different mobile recording approaches, and the question we often get asked is when to use each one. Let me tell you a little bit about this. SIM-based mobile recording solutions have been available for a long time. With this approach, a cellular carrier implements recording capabilities in their core network. A SIM card from this specific carrier is provided to the user, and recording happens in the carrier's network. On-device or app-based mobile recording solutions use a software-based approach instead. With on-device solutions, one or more apps are installed in the user's smartphone, and they take advantage of its capabilities to enable the recording of conversations. Mobius Multiline builds on ideas from both of these approaches, combining recording in a network cloud with an application that brings together voice, texting, and WhatsApp messaging capabilities. Why is this relevant? Let's have a look in a bit more detail at some challenges with mobile recording. SIM-based solutions do the recording while the communication goes through the cellular network. Their main challenge is that not all communications actually go through the carrier's network, and some may end up being not recorded. Let me give you 3 real examples. First, an investment banker. She's traveling outside the country, roaming internationally, and her phone will connect to a local network, typically the one with the best signal. She is not connected to her carrier's network. Carriers realized this was a gap and came up with a standard called CAMEL, which helps ensure services such as mobile recording are still provided while roaming. Unfortunately, not all carriers in all regions have adhered to these agreements, and depending on the user's travel profile, the networks the phone chooses to connect to, and the calling patterns, it is not uncommon that a significant percentage of calls fail to be recorded while roaming. The second challenge is Wi-Fi calling. Certain SIM-based solutions do not have the ability to record calls made using Wi-Fi. While this can be mitigated by the carrier simply not offering Wi-Fi calling, this can become a user experience issue when working from home in areas with spotty signal. The growth of consumer messaging is another challenging area. For instance, SIM-based solutions do not have the ability to record WhatsApp messages. So, if a client is using WhatsApp to text her private banker, this message may be not recorded. Mobius Multiline performs a recording as the communication goes through the Mobius cloud. This lets us address the compliance gaps of SIM-based solutions. First, Mobius Multiline does not rely on special carrier features such as CAMEL. Users will be recorded both when at home and traveling internationally, no matter what network their phones connect to. Now, because Mobius Multiline works across any network, there is no Wi-Fi calling gap either. Users can choose the service with the best signal for them, whether the cellular voice service, the data service, or the Wi-Fi calling service, and their calls will remain recorded. Additionally, the Mobius Cloud is not limited to text and voice conversations. With connections into consumer messaging services, Mobius can record WhatsApp conversations in the same way as text conversations. Cost and complexity are important factors to consider. Let's check out SIM-based solutions. First, these solutions are typically tied to company-owned deployment models. A second consideration is that, in addition to the cost of the devices, there are logistic elements such as SIM card and device distribution, device maintenance, renewals, and replacements that have to be factored in. Also, deploying SIM-based solutions across multiple geographies typically requires having multiple carrier agreements to cover all regions. The Mobius Multiline approach is suitable both for company-owned deployments as well as for bring-your-own-device models. This helps drive costs down and greatly simplifies the logistics involved in deploying and maintaining the service. Additionally, being a global service, Mobius Multiline is very well suited for global deployments across multiple geographical regions. On-device solutions leverage one or more apps in the user's smartphone to enable the recording of conversations. There are different approaches, with some solutions doing call diversions and some others doing a local recording and uploading it to a server. The main challenge with on-device solutions is the risk of device exposure. For instance, a rogue trader may try to manipulate or delete a recording before it's been uploaded to the archival system. Second aspect to consider with on-device solutions is that certain solutions can only capture specific channels. For instance, some solutions may not be able to capture text or may be limited to voice over IP calls only. And this matters because if, for instance, a relationship manager is on a voice over IP call and she leaves the office and the call drops, there may be a compliance gap if she just calls back using a regular voice call. Mobius Multiline also comes with an app, but the recordings are done as the communications go through the Mobius cloud. There is no dependency with the device to perform the recordings, and this lets us address the compliance gaps of on-device recording solutions. As all recordings are done in the Mobius cloud, they cannot be deleted or tampered with, even if the user's device is lost or stolen. Also, as Mobius Multiline works across any network, there is no dependency with Wi-Fi calling. Calls will remain recorded across any cellular, data, or Wi-Fi network. The Mobius Multiline app provides a single interface to record conversations across multiple channels, including voice, text, and WhatsApp. Let's check out cost and complexity considerations for on-device recording solutions. First, these solutions are typically tied to company-owned deployment models. Users may not be comfortable installing apps in their personal phones that will record all their conversations. A second aspect to consider is that in some cases, different apps will be required to record different channels, one for voice, one for text. This means more complexity for users and more work to deploy and maintain. The Mobius Multiline solution separates business and personal communications with a privacy by design principle, making it suitable for bring-your-own-device deployment models. In addition to that, Mobius Multiline, through a single interface, brings together voice, text, and WhatsApp communications, making it simpler for users to use and easier to deploy and maintain.